Hey, 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 welcome to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for anyone that lands on this live stream while I am on it. For those of you that are new to the channel, anything that you need to know about the channel, you can find in the description box, such as how to become a member. If you wanted to subscribe to my channel, I have a Patreon link down there that has a bunch of different types of subscriptions because I pride myself on being a psychic healer. So my readings always start off where I look at the psychological and the emotional aspects of your situation, which are spiritual, because everything happens in the spiritual realm long before it happens in the physical realm. So psychological and emotional aspects of our relationship will tell us where the imbalances are and what we need to do to heal and transcend the situation, because healing is all about that. It's about being able to see a different perception of your situation. Now, I always start using my deck, the Psychic Soul Healer deck. That's what it looks like. And when I do pre-recorded videos, that's what it'll look like. Then I like to look at a lot of different angles of the reading, such as what are the triggers? And we want to see what the hidden truths are, right? We want to see what the hidden truths are, and we want to look at the love messages and the twin flame and really the karmic themes. So I really do try to look at your situation from all different perspectives, because when we're dealing with the soulmate twin flame, it's very easy for us to get caught up in the emotions and take things personally, which again, this is why we actually have soulmate twin flames. They're to teach us by being a mirror of us a lot of times, but it doesn't mean that the behaviorism channels out the same. A lot of times their behaviorism is going to be what triggers you and make you respond the way that you did when the original wound was created. Why? Because our wounds are held within our subconscious mind. We're not conscious of our wounds. We're not walking around saying, I'm not worthy. I don't believe that I'm lovable. No one says that. What it is, it's through our mannerisms. It's what our core beliefs are, but we're not aware of that a lot of times. So this is why. Again, karmic mate is a soulmate, is a twin flame. Karma means learn. It doesn't mean all the time bad situation. We perceive it like it does because we're like, oh, it's karma. Karma will get you. Well, karma will get you if you did something bad. But if you are in alignment with the laws of God, the laws of love, the laws of nature, then karma can't do anything to you because you're actually in the flow of the universe. And the flow of the universe is the energy of God, and God is the energy of unconditional love. So you need to be in unconditional love. So when we're using my deck, we're looking at the shadow aspects of ourselves so that we can integrate them. Otherwise, you'll be in a soulmate connection that you will be crazy about the person will be crazy about you and will love you, but your relationship will look like a roller coaster. It'll be in, it will be out, because you can't control love. And what happens a lot of times when we get out of balance is that's what we try to do. So it's not just becoming aware of it. I mean, we will become aware with my deck and with my reading overall, all the different cards that I use, again, which will tell the story. But inevitably, healing is up to you to be able to embody this information. A lot easier said than done. Why? Because you have to deal with your emotions. So that's how we know when we're emotionally imbalanced. That's when we know that there's fear there. So again, a soulmate twin flame relationship can do this because it makes us look at ourselves. It makes us question the way that we do things, the way that we think. First card out, self-obsession. So again, very common when we are in a relationship with someone that we really like a lot. We want them to like us, but if we have wounds, we are going to be self-obsessed. We're going to think, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I don't have enough. We're also going to say, I need to have this. I need to have that. Maybe if I do this, maybe if I do that. And notice what I'm saying. Everything that I am saying is the answer is outside of me. And that's number one wound. That the answer is not outside of you. The answer is inside of you. Because the kingdom of heaven's inside of you. If you can imagine it, you can create it. Right? So we have to become what we want to see. And so it's okay to mirror a person's character. It's not okay to copy what they do. And that is if their character is of unconditional love. Meaning they're not full of anger and jealousy and rage and betrayal. Again, this is what wound energy is made up of. That's why it's called a shadow. It's not happy vibes and love that is what we get triggered with. No, when we get triggered, we're angry. We feel like there's something wrong. We get annoyed. We run, we hide, we isolate. All things that take us further away from ourselves and to our community, our environment, the people that are in the environment, and God, and which are the three things that create sickness and disease. So self-obsession is not good. Again, synthesis, but I don't really read my cards backwards, but you know what? I'm kind of feeling intuitive today. And so I am, because it came out upside down. So it's almost like a synthesis. It's like when I see the synthesis, right? It's almost like I'm being led by my intuition that everything in the universe has a language. And when you are in the flow of the universe, because you're just going with the flow, and you can go with the flow when you're in the vibration of love, the person that you're connected to is not in the vibration of love. They're only thinking about themselves. They're very selfish. So the synthesis is why I felt that I should read it outside is because that person's in their head, they're not in their heart space. So automatically I know that whoever you're connected to with has a lot of healing that they need to do around the heart. Possibly they could be putting money before your connection. They could be putting something material before your connection. So I feel like this person feels that they can control, because self-obsession is, again, I'm trying to create my reality through what I do in the outside and not through listening to, again, that rhythm. The synthesis is like there's a rhythm. So this is what this is telling me automatically. Promethean fire, but there's a lot of passion between you and this person, and because Promethean fire is also is that love and the passion that we have when we create, right? When we create something, it stirs up a lot of emotion, and so it's almost the same like when you love someone and you have a lot of feelings for someone, it stirs up a lot of emotions. So there's a lot of emotions between you and your person. So this could be like a past life connection. It's a spiritual connection. There's a very strong bond there. And so understand it's a soul connection. So soul connections are brought into your life, again, to teach you. So, which makes sense why you may be connected to someone that is not really giving you any attention right now. And they're not giving any attention to you because, again, they're caught up in themselves. So they're detached from themselves, which is what happens from trauma, which is a trauma response when a person has gone through an experience where they have been betrayed over and over and over again. They shift out of what they feel and move into their heart. So I understand the universe is loving, the universe is God, because the universe is everywhere, the God is everywhere. It's ubiquitous. Its job is to work through us, and it comes in the form of prana, right? Air, energy, and air energy flows through us because we're energy beings. So when you're in a soulmate twin flame relationship where there's a lot of trauma around it, it doesn't mean that your person doesn't need to work through a lot of stuff. They do. The passion and the connection they feel for you is the catalyst that makes them do the work. Because understand, being in this energy, we're in this energy, it's survival. And so money is usually linked to that. A person's identity is linked to that. But if a person built their identity on falsehoods, which is outside material things, and they didn't build their character, well, then they were living out of balance. And so their character would show that. I don't know what it is yet. We'll soon see. But there is a lot of passion between you two. There is a soul connection, soul tie. We're going to look and see exactly what that soul connection is. I'm feeling like if the person is really in a lot of trauma, you're probably a twin flame or soulmate and not just a soul tie. And the reason why I say that is because it's going to take a lot of passion. It's going to take a lot of energy to help be the catalyst to make this person change. And this also says, by the way, and you may say, well, that doesn't make sense because people don't change for people. Soulmate, twin flame relationship do, it depends. It's karmic, which means learn. So the passion that you have, again, for your person that may not be giving you, if you're on the flip side of this, then you're in your passion. You are doing what you love. You are expressing your passion through your unique individuality, which I feel like for some of you are speakers, some of you are influencers, some of you are educators. It's again, whatever it is that you're doing that you give and receive of love that makes you part of humanity, right? Because when we go off to work and we become part of society, it's if we're doing what we love, not working a job that we don't love. So people that don't like their job, this isn't for you. It's a person that's actually doing what they love. And that passion, that emotion is stirring up inside of them, which means that you are cutting your energy off from your person, which is why that your person would be self-obsessed, being like, what's going on? Because again, they created their reality through what they created in their environment and what they perceived in their environment. So they might have perceived you as being someone weaker, as someone that was not as maybe financially sound, or life wasn't as good, or whatever it is. Because understand, soulmate twin flame doesn't mean perfect. It doesn't also mean love at first sight. A lot of times a person might not know. What it means is the person has always felt like home. The person has always felt familiar. So, but now there's a passion that's being stirred up in both these individuals in this story. So again, if you resonate with the story, you have to, again, choose which side you resonate with. But in this story, that both parties are doing what they love. They're in the passion of what they love. Actually, no, one person is. Sorry about that. One person is, and the other person is like self-obsessed, and they're self-obsessed because their person is no longer giving them passion. They don't feel that energetic connection anymore. But that's the catalyst for them to get out of their imbalance, right? Where for you, you're just, again, giving yourself the love. So this would automatically tell me that you're breaking karmic cycles. Instead of catering to this person, because I feel like a lot of people are unhealed healers. And so unhealed healers are people that tend to run in and heal other people, but they don't heal themselves. All right, so let's look at the triggers. Okay, powerless. I felt powerless and like all control was taken from me. And that's what happens a lot of times with a soulmate twin flame relationship, right? That's imbalanced. There's a runner and there's a chaser. And the runner usually has a few different people because the runner has commitment issues because they have a lot of trauma around relationships and trust. And the chaser has abandonment issues. And so this is what is being awakened in both parties. This is why once the runner sees that the chaser isn't running after them anymore, they feel powerless because all their power was made from really creating an outside environment instead of working on the relationship with their soulmate twin flame, which they knew was a soulmate twin flame. They just didn't give that person the energy because they wanted to make their person feel powerless. So if you're that person that felt powerless, well, the reason why was because they felt powerless in the connection because the connection has a lot of passion in it, and there's a be and an instantaneous knowing which happens with the soulmate twin flame. It's like a familiarity, and the familiarity is an instantaneous knowing, like I know you from somewhere. And because there's such deep love and there's such caring, that both parties would automatically want to give a lot to the connection. So your person again tries to come more from a logical sense, which is very mental, very is very cold. It's you can be this way in business, but you can't really be this way in love. So it's your person, or again, if you're that person, doesn't have their heart open. And just for so I don't have to keep saying it's you or them again, take it as it resonates. But I feel really in this story that the person that you're connected to has a lot of blocks around their heart, and that's why they feel powerless around you, so they don't give you anything. They overcompensate. It would look like a second chakra imbalance where the person, like, they overcompensated because they were not comfortable, so they're not going with the flow, right? The second chakra is where the hips are. We go with the flow of life, and we can go through the flow of life when we again feel that we're powerful, that when we're strong, not when we're insecure. So understand, this is why they tend to be self-obsessed. So there's someone that you're dealing with has very low self-esteem. I also feel though you felt powerless because of how they were treating you, and we would feel powerless. Anyone would feel powerless if you love someone and they're not letting you in, and you can feel that they love you too. It's almost like the person is like has a piece of glass in between you and them, but the glass is see-through and you can see them but you can't hear them and you can't touch them. It's a little frustrating. And then you're always going to overdo and overgive, and that person isn't really going to give, and they're going to not appreciate you, and that's going to be another karmic wound that comes up that I'm just feeling automatically. So whoever was in this type of relationship really had no choice but to separate. So gaslighting, yeah, because the person had to, pretend. I felt out of touch with my reality because everything I knew was being deflected. I woke up and saw the truth. And I really feel that that was you. You're like, this relationship is never really going to go anywhere. It's never really going to be anything because of this. So you can love me and I can feel you're my soulmate twin flame. But if you continue to make me feel powerless and you continue to like not work on yourself in order for the relationship to work and for you to be comfortable in the relationship, you're going to gaslight me and tell me that it's my problem. I start issues where I don't really feel like, I feel like what happens is you become more on your best behavior. So you're again reverting back to childhood, some childhood behaviorism where you tried to be perfect. And it was never possible. So here you are back in a relationship where the person loves you but doesn't know how to show love. So and the reason why is because they have a lot of wounds around it and they feel powerless. So in order for them to maintain the relationship and pretend that they're on the same vibration as you, they have to gaslight, which means in them gaslighting you, it brings down your vibration. which obviously would affect everything that would be going on within your life. Judged. And then when you call them out on it, they feel judged. I feel judged, but it's again, that's another way of them deflecting and not taking responsibility. Person's shadow, when they have a lot of trauma around their shadow, rather around a situation. So their shadow is so big, it's like there's no love. It's just cold, it's hard, it's ego, and it's survival. And that's the reason why. And survival overrides everything in our mind. So let's look and see what, because I do know that this is a soulmate twin flame like relationship. I can feel it. Though it would look like trauma bond, okay? A soulmate twin flame relationship that the two people are not healed is a trauma bond. They have the same wounding, because what we see here is no one should be able to make you feel powerless. You both felt powerless, but for the same reason. But rather for different reasons. I can talk today. I really can. I swear. I'm like all over the place. But both parties felt powerless. And the powerless is, again, you weren't giving to me and I'm giving to you. And this is reliving a childhood theme and actually a life theme of feeling like no matter what I do isn't good enough. I try to be perfect and I am perfect, but then all of a sudden I'm seen as horrible if I make one little mistake or if I do something wrong or if I even question you or answer you, you make it like it's my fault. You gaslight. And to create separation, to create distance from me, that makes me feel powerless. But the love that this person has for you, because it's a real connection, is terrifying to them. So this energy, it makes them feel as if they have no control. So again, that's why they feel powerless. That's why they're self-obsessed. That's why they're not listening to their intuition. But that doesn't mean that that's not love. Let's actually look at the hidden truths. I said I'm all over the place today. Oh, and the worst part of it is that when you call them out on it, they're going to be like, oh, you're judging me. And now let's look at the hidden truth. I left you before you could leave me. Typical gaslighting. So it's, again, your person always created distance. And after a while, you were going to get mad. This person knew this because, again, they were never putting enough. They knew that they weren't giving you enough. They knew it and they weren't changing that. And so they knew it was only a matter of time. And the reason why they weren't giving you is because they didn't want the emotions and the feelings to grow. So it could be because I feel like for some of you, your person is connected to somebody else. I'm not feeling that they love that person, but there's still somewhat of a connection there. They have other obligations, but yeah, because that they love you. So, but they do love you. That's the hidden truth. So we know that, right? Because if a person has a lot of passion for somebody, and it keeps them all up in their head where they're self-obsessed and they feel powerless, they're not going to spend any time with you. They're going to leave because they're like, I can't feed this because I love you. And so, they try to gaslight, and then they would blame because they would say you would judge them, but you weren't really judging them. You were pretty much just calling them out on their shitty behavior. But they knew it. They knew it. So I don't know why, like I said, I'm feeling for some of you that obviously the person's connected to somebody else. Let's just see what any soulmate twin flame. I'm sorry for being critical of you. I know I hurt you with my harsh words and actions. So again, I feel like this person feels bad of the way that they spoke to you. And I hope that if this is you, you're not feeling bad on how you spoke to this person and how you reacted to this person. I feel like you set boundaries. And I feel like that our soulmate twin flame relationships, when they're imbalanced and they're more like a trauma bond, that's what you have to do. You don't have a choice. You have to be direct, because in that it'll go on forever, because you too have a lot of passion for this person. So you were protecting yourself is what I'm feeling. I want to know what the whole point of this message was. Aside from knowing that the person really does have feelings and they just have a lot of wounds around their heart, and so they kind of blamed you for everything. But let's see, what is the spiritual connection? What is the karmic? Just like you, I'm always doing some form of mission. My energy and wisdom supports those around me. So there is a sense that your person, the connection is they feel like you are a better match for them, by the way. So I just got intuitively that they are connected to someone, but that relationship is like grown out, almost too much muddy water underneath the bridge, mainly because your person has a lot of wounds around their heart. They haven't healed them. So they're not different in this relationship that they are with you. But I do believe that your person believes that outside things are what's going to fix them. And the reason why I say that is because of how the reading started and with them being all self obsessed. And so now they're looking and you're very business wise. And as I also started your reading, I said, you were in your passion. So there's two forms of passion. There's a passion that you have for your person, and then there's a passion that you have for, again, what your contribution to humanity, like what you do for work or what you do for pleasure. Where do you spend your time, your energy, your focus, and your money? Where do you lose yourself? What do you love? What creates that, stirs up that joy, that passion, that excitement? Because that's what Promethean fire is. So it said that's where you are, but your person says, oh, well, that's normally how I escape. And I see that you do that. So I believe that we're a better match. So I think your person is starting to actually, they're trying to strategize, they're trying to logic, they're trying, so that, which is good on one hand, but it's almost too much. So I'm feeling like if soulmate twin flame energy, always know opposites attract. So your person may be very logical and mental, but also very highly sensitive, where they're into it. And you are a very highly sensitive person that's intuitive. So then there's this deep connection that's felt ESP level. It's a very strong bond. It means I know that you're thinking about me. I can feel when you're sad. I can feel when, and I feel like you and I are a lot alike, is what I'm feeling that your person is starting to realize. I feel like the person that he was married to or connected to previously, before you even came into this person's life, they felt like was a good match. It was good on paper, but there wasn't this. And so understand, your person feels like they can build something with you. And that's the difference. So it doesn't mean that there's no healing here. It means that that your person needs a shit ton worth of healing. And possibly you too. Possibly you too. But if you're in your passions, then you'll be balanced. Because a lot of times our soulmate twin flame relationships, we can't say, I just want to walk away from this. It's too hard. We actually say, I'm going to go into this and I kind of know it's going to be a shit show, but I have such strong feelings, I can't handle it. That will only happen, the shit show, if you step out of your purpose, out of your passion, and will lose yourself, because these type of soulmate twin flame relationships can be very codependent because of all this energy. So we're taking this energy and we're channeling it into purpose, right? to creating something. Why? Because both parties do that on their own. So this is what your person, I feel like, is envisioning. I'm afraid this relationship is too good to be true, and I pull away in fear. Well, people, I'm going to end it there, because that's what this whole reading was about, that your person just pulls away all the time in fear, because they try to mental everything, and which is what is the reason why they have all the wounds that they do. But they believe that there's something different in this relationship, and I think that there is something different in this relationship. And I'm just going to pull one more, and to just see where you are in this relationship, because your person is thinking, I could actually make this work, even if I might need to like fix something, kiss a little ass, rearrange things in life, but I can see how it can. I don't know, with the betrayal and the gaslighting, whether you feel the same. And that's why I want to pull from my tarot, just a Wait and Rider deck. Two of Pentacles, indecision. And reverse, no less. Indecision. You read it. Can you read the word on there? Okay. The reason why is because it's like, I don't have enough information on this. You're indecisive and have difficulty making commitment. Decide and commit in order to find fulfillment. So there's a sense that your person is going to come back to you. And because they can see a future with you and where they want to build something, they think that this may be the difference. But you're indecisive. And I'm going to leave it there, because if you're indecisive, the more that I pull for it, the more we already know why you're indecisive. And how I take that is, indecisiveness isn't really no. It means your person intuitively, what I'm feeling, because I'm not going to pull another card on that, is more like, if they work and prove it to me, and when I feel okay, then. So you're like, all the power is in your court, really. And that also brings us back to where I pulled powerless, because your person's always big fear is that they're going to be powerless, which is why they pulled away and have been pulling away, but only to create the feeling of, well, I can't control love, so I'm going to go back in this relationship and pretty much do things on your terms where I'm powerless. So they created it. So that's what you can expect. And that's how you know a twin flame soulmate really loves you. When they surrender their ego. It's a woman's job a lot of times to bring a man to God. It's a lot of times for a man to, again, humble a woman. So again, take her out of her emotions, where they have to be taught, okay, I'm going to step more into my male energy and be very mental and logical and analytical instead of deal with this. And that's really what needs to happen. Your person needs to surrender their ego, and they need to feel powerless, and they're going to. So I'm going to leave it there. Let me know whether or not you resonated. And again, if you say the word master healer in the comments, and you listen to this and you like the video and you subscribe to my channel, you can win a free psychic soul reading with me. Find out what your shadows are, find out how to integrate them, and find out how to get better health, wealth, and all around emotional fulfillment, which means better relationships, ones where you're not always on the downside. We'll leave it there. Until next time, be true to you.